We've got an exciting video for you today. Welcome to the First Impressions Haul of 2024. I've got 18 brand new fragrances. Some of these were actually released later last year. I didn't have a chance to pick up a bottle, so they're here now. Nevertheless, these are brand new releases. For most of you watching this video, they could be something that you've tried before. If you have tried them and you like them or you don't like them, please be sure to sound off in the comments. So without any further ado, guys, let's hop into the First Impressions Haul of 2024. And I have some special news to share with you during this video. So stick around, let's hop right into it. You know by now that smelling good is a great way to make a lasting impression. So if you haven't yet and you do appreciate the channel, be sure to subscribe for more, hit the notification bell. I keep you guys in the know. Let me kick off this haul with this one here from the house of 𝗏𝗏, which is known for making somewhat fragrances that are inspired by otherwise successful fragrances. This is going to be 𝗏𝗏 Ice, which we know very well by now. The 𝗏𝗏 is a fragrance that's very similar, well, the original 𝗏𝗏, very similar to a very popular fragrance in the fragrance community, as it were, which is going to be 𝗏𝗏 𝗏 from 2016. That fragrance is very similar to that. Now, 𝗏𝗏 Ice, I have no idea what it smells like. I believe this was released late last year. So let's see what we get out of this one. So off the tester strip here, this is going to have that very familiar, icy, bright, almost minty opening that you get with a lot of designer fragrances out there. Of course, similar to 𝗏𝗏 similar to some Y fragrances. There's definitely a 𝗏𝗏 in here. Some green components and spicier notes, I think, are going to be the most impactant, profile that was added into this fragrance. So in comparison to other green, blue, aquatic fragrances, this is going to have a greener, spicier undertone. Quite nice. It's gonna be more of the same in a sense that it's not gonna be anything groundbreaking or out of this world, but if you like this profile and you can actually find this for a good price, they tend to last a long time. I think performance is gonna be good here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you guys my first impression potential for this fragrance and for all first impression videos of 2024. And of course, at the end of the year, you get the top discoveries, the best releases like we do here, for over a decade. But this one here, on a first impression potential, I'm gonna give this one a C. I think it's quite nice, but it's more of the same. If it performs well, it might, go up into a B. I don't know what performance is gonna be, but on the scent itself, it's like a mash between, Yves Saint Laurent Y meets 𝗏𝗏 𝗏, and meets something else that I can't quite put my finger on with tonka and ambroxan in the base, this is quite sweet for a freshie. I'm a huge fan of Encre Noire. I'm a huge fan of Lalique. I think they produce very good quality fragrances, and you can actually find them quite discounted. They perform well, they smell amazing. Lalique White's one that I love. I think White and Black is another one that's reminiscent to Layton. I talked about that fragrance here on the channel. So they offer a lot of great things, and of course, the original Encre Noire, Encre Noire Extreme, which smells similar to Chanel Sycamore. So they have a lot of good fragrances. This one is called Encre Indigo. So it's their latest flanker. And this was, again, later last year. I'm gonna say around September, October is when I heard about this fragrance. But I'm very curious to try an Encre Indigo and see what I get from this one. Okay, this is quite nice. It's very interesting. It has this very sharp, astringent kind of a feel to it when it opens up here on the tester strip. Not really a blue fragrance, more of a sharp, sweet, woody kind of a scent. So looking at the notes, we're talking black tea, ambergris, saffron, pink pepper, juniper berry, ambergris. So it has that salty, kind of a sea breeze kind of a vibe going on here. Definitely spicy, the pink pepper, the juniper berries, very herbal as well. Again, the green nuance, as I said to you guys many times before last year, I'll say it again. I think definitely green is the new blue. I think even blue scents, aquatic scents, will have a green undertone or tinge to them. Herbal nuances like clary sage, oak moss, vetiver are very in right now. The lavender. So it's good stuff. I think it's quite classy smelling, very elegant, but definitely more masculine and without a shadow of a doubt, more mature than 𝗏𝗏 Ice that I talked about before. I think that one you can actually be more playful for a younger crowd. This one here, of course, you can wear whatever you want, but this one has more of a more mature, well put together, gentlemanly kind of a vibe to it. I'm gonna give this one a B potential. It smells really, really nice. This one here got me really, really curious. This is from their Night Veils collection from the house of Byredo. This is called Rouge Chaotique or Chaotic Rouge. The notes here look incredible, and this particular collection was one that I love. I talk about tobacco mandarin, which is a very dark, smoky, tangy kind of a fragrance, you know, not for everyone. Now, Rouge Chaotic from the Chaotique, from the notes listed, it got me so intrigued and curious about it, I had to get a bottle and share it with you guys. These are very expensive. This is actually a 50 ml, 1.6 ounce. They don't come cheap, and they will stain your clothes. I don't know if you can see here, the test strip is all tainted now, the color of the juice, which is a dark rouge or red, kind of a maroonish. So don't spray your clothes, especially if you have white clothes, it's gonna stain. But let's go to the scent. The scent is nice. It's pleasant, it's familiar though. I can't quite put my finger on it, but looking at the notes, we're talking plum, pralines, patchouli, saffron. So it's this leathery, sweet, oody kind of a patchouli in the dry down. So a little bit smoky, definitely creamy, and definitely fruity. It's reminding me of something here, or a combination of things. It's got the wood, it's got the oud note here with leather, which is not really overbearing or overpowering. It's one of those ouds that are very wearable and quite nice. So it's gonna have nuances. Here we go, it just came to me. It's gonna have nuances of Initio's Oud for Greatness or MFK's Oud Satin Mood. So if you like those oud kind of scents that are very sweet and pleasant and creamy and easy to wear and great for appeal and confidence and compliments, this is gonna check all the boxes. Good stuff. I don't know about performance, but because it has a similar feel to those fragrances that I talked about, I'm gonna give this one a B potential. This could be a great one on skin, because I don't know yet, but on a first impression here, this is gonna get a B. Good stuff from 𝗙𝗿𝗏. 𝗙𝗏𝗏 usually don't disappoint, and the Night Veils collection is one that pushes the boundaries a little bit, but this one here, not as daring or hard to wear as Tobacco Mandarin, for example. Now, Mancera has been very, very busy lately. You know, a lot of releases back to back. You know, Tonka Cola is one that got a ton of limelight last year, one of my favorite releases of 2023. Both of these, I think, are from 2023. The latter one, the second one I'm going to talk about, I think was released towards the end of the year, but those are, I think both are from 2023. Both from Mancera. One is Black Noir and one is Amore Cafe. Now, Amore Cafe, you know, it's coffee. Of course, I'm going to be curious to it. And this one here, Black Noir, the notes look great as well. So let's crack these open and get into them. So let's start with the darker one. Let's start with Black Noir. Nice bottle. It's got the satin finish to the bottle itself, golden black, great combination. So I did a review for you guys years ago on another fragrance that's similar looking to this one. I think it was called Black Gold. This is years ago. We're talking 2017, 2018. And I talked about a double feature from Mancera, and Black Gold was a very hard to wear fragrance. I actually ended up selling that fragrance because I really couldn't wear it. I liked it, but my wife hated it. And it was one of those scents that gave us a headache, so I had to pass it along. But this is Black Noir. The notes look quite intriguing on this one. Sprays are great on the house of Mancera. Love the new bottles. Wow, this is nice. This is dark, smoky, woody, but it has this fruitiness to it. And the woodiness and fruitiness that you get with this fragrance makes it quite nice. There is a daring, smoky feel to the fragrance, which gives this intrigue facet to the scent. But overall, it smells really nice, really pleasant. I do get the vetiver vanilla smokiness coming through, which is nice, almost reminiscent of the feel that I get from Noir, Pasha Noir that I talked about immensely, one of my favorite designer releases from last year. However, this doesn't have that syrupy caramel that you have with Pasha Noir Absolute. This one here, more of a woody, spicy smokiness with the vanilla and vetiver, you know, nuances coming through, but not as sweet as Pasha Noir Absolute. So if you wanted something a little bit more daring, if you will, this one here will be great. Pasha is going to be a little more, you know, easier to wear, more mainstream, but still daring. But this one here, a lot more dare and intrigue facets to the scent, but you know, in the same wheelhouse. So if you like Pasha Noir Absolute, you'll definitely like this one. A lot of these releases, they tend to take a little while to get here, even though they're 2023 releases. A lot of these fragrances are just populating the US market either late or the last quarter of last year or right now, first quarter of 2024. So they're really new releases. Amore Cafe, let's go. Again, sprays are great. Wow, this is really nice. Very spicy, very creamy. Now, I don't know if anise is a note here, but it has this almondy feel, almost boozy-like. The coffee here is quite nice. I'm loving this one, guys. The coffee is very, very prominent. You're gonna get the coffee from the get-go. If you like a really realistic coffee scent. This one here is definitely going to do that for you. And it has this boozy facet to it. Let me look at the note. So it's got this amaretto note, definitely a boozy note right there. So it's going to be boozy, nutty with the amaretto because it's got this almond feel to it. Coffee, ice cream, vanilla ice cream in the heart, brown sugar, vanilla, and ambergris. You do have a burnt sugar kind of a vibe to the scent. If you like fragrances like, let's say, New Harlem from Bond No. 9, you're definitely going to love this one. It has this burnt sugar / maple syrup kind of a vibe, but the coffee is very predominant. It smells like breakfast in a bottle, guys, just like New Harlem does. Good stuff. This one's going to get a potential, as people wear, as people talk about. That's what I'm saying. First impression, potential. This is going to get an A. I think this is going to be a crowd favorite out there, including myself. And I could definitely see this one here featured in a lot of top videos in upcoming months. This fragrance just flew under the radar. I didn't hear anybody talk about it. Here's the box, which is like this purple, black and gold kind of a vibe. It's going to be the look of the bottle itself. From what I see, it's going to be that lightning bolt, which is a little bit tacky. A lot of people don't like this collection. The extreme version of this particular line is one that I loved, and it made one of my favorite releases from last year. But I never had a chance to try this one, so let's do it together on camera. Shiny purple with the black and gold appointments. Bad Boy Dazzling Garden. And even, so garden is something that's becoming popular. Even Le Male is coming up with a garden, flanker that I'll pop it on screen here as soon as I get that bottle. Of course, I'm gonna be sharing with you. But let's check this one here from Carolina Herrera. Amazing sprayer. Okay, we're not missing much, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a very similar and familiar smell. It's going to be a combination, an amalgam of different fragrances that we are familiar with. Again, just like the Hawass Ice that I talked about, these could be brothers, very similar to that fragrance. You're going to have some icy, bright citrus components up top that are going to be very inviting. Don't get me wrong, both of these very inviting, very easy to wear, appealing, compliments. They're going to check those boxes, but when it comes to uniqueness or something that's going to be giving you something that you haven't smelled before, forget about it. Similar to Paco Rabanne Invictus Aqua, it's going to have this ambroxan, woody kind of a base, which is very reminiscent of fragrances like Yves Saint Laurent Y, fragrances from that line. So it's like I said, a mesh of different popular designer fragrances. This is gonna get a D for me. I like it, but and that's why I think it just flew under the radar. I think people tried it and like, this is more of the same. So that's why it's gonna get a D for me on potential first impression. I don't think, of course, if you don't have this style of fragrances and you want something that's similar to Paco Rabanne Invictus Aqua meets Yves Saint Laurent Y, it's gonna be great for everyday wear, whatever. This is gonna fit that bill. But if you already have a big collection and you smell this over and over again, it's gonna be nothing but redundant. So this is Heaven Can Wait, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm very, very curious to this one because 𝗏 𝗏 is nothing but a master perfumer, one of the best of our times. So let's check this one out, guys. All right, so right off the bat, here's the deal. If you love the note of iris, you're going to really enjoy this one. I don't know anything about performance, of course, so the smell is really nice. It's this very ethereal, clean iris kind of a scent. Of course, it's gonna have the nuances of iris that we love, which is reminiscent to like makeup feel, a little bit powderiness to it, a little bit of creamy facet to it. But this is not going to be strong like your Dior Homme, Dior Homme Intense. It doesn't have patchouli, I don't think. It doesn't have anything that's really dark. It's really a bright, easy to wear iris scent. What you're going to get here is really a true to the floral aspect of this gorgeous plant or flower, if you will. This is a very nice scent. It's easy to wear. This could be an easy signature scent. Potential first impression here. This is an easy scent. I don't think it's gonna be very linear as well. What you're gonna get here, it's probably gonna be something that's gonna unskin, stay the same, which is nice because the initial, blast here is just amazing. Very, very good quality. I mean, it checks the marks for quality, for great smelling scent. Potential A for me, first impression. This is an A fragrance, guys. If you're looking for perfection on iris, side of things, this is one that you don't want to miss. Next up, we're gonna talk about Torino 23. I talked about this fragrance a couple of videos ago, or last video. Every year they have a new one. This is a collaboration that they have with a tennis tournament that happens in Torino, in Italy. This is the 2023 version, the third version. I believe they started in 21. I do own 21, 22. 21 still my favorite. I don't know anything about 23, so let's hop into it. And I believe this is part of the Join the Club line of fragrances as well. weird smelling, I want to say, for a lack of a better word, but it's weird in a good way, meaning it's going to keep you coming back for more. It's got this creamy, sweet, and sharp vibe to it. So looking at the notes, we're going to have some floral components like jasmine, for example, definitely rose, citrus up top with bergamot, lots of spices, cardamom, nutmeg. Not as good as 22 or 21, to be quite honest with you. This goes into like a weird kind of a vibe, like I said. Let's leave it at that. On first impression potential, this is going to get a C from me. I would give a B to 22, and Torino 21 to me is an A+ altogether. One of the best, citrus bright fragrances to wear in the warm season. Next up, we have two fragrances here from the house of 𝗕𝗏, and I've took the liberty to unboxing these. This is going to be 𝗕𝗏3 and 𝗕𝗏4. Now these guys, I believe, released both of these fragrances here in North America at Scent Explore last year, 5th annual. And people were talking about how good they were. I haven't had the chance to try them, so I am very, psyched to try these fragrances. I do enjoy the house of 𝗕𝗏. As you guys know, Lamar is one of my favorites. Solage is a great leather vetiver patchouli scent. They do have quality and they are very long lasting in nature. So let's try 𝗕𝗏3 and let's see what we get out of this one. 𝗕𝗏3. So 𝗕𝗏3 has that ginger, sparkly, soda pop kind of an opening, some floral and fruity components. To be quite honest with you, it reminds me of there's a lavender note here that's a little bit soapy. So this is going to be a similar scent to Vibrato from Sospiro. I get a very familiar feel to the scent. Overall potential, I'm gonna give this one a C because I do have Vibrato and I love it. I think that was a little bit more ambery and spicier. I like this one, but I think as it starts to dry down, I'm thinking that this is going to be not as good as Vibrato. The soapy thing here is throwing me a little bit off. It could grow on me as I wear on skin. It might go in a different direction. But if it's similar to Vibrato, I know Vibrato, so that one to me is a, A fragrance. So this is gonna have to be a C for me in comparison because I think compared to Vibrato, this one here will not, dethrone Vibrato for me, if you will. Next up, we have 𝗕𝗏4. Now again, very similar to 𝗕𝗏3. I'm hoping this is gonna be its own thing and not similar to anything else, but we shall see. Let's see what we get out of 𝗕𝗏4, guys. Now, 𝗕𝗏4 is very unique. I'm liking this one. This is sweet. It's woody. And there's a note here that is reminiscent of seaweed. I don't think seaweed's listed as a note at all. You have rum, you have cardamom, some spices, some leather notes, dates, vanilla, woody undertones, musk. You do get all of that. But for some reason, I'm getting the seaweed kind of aquatic feel to the fragrance. Definitely sweet, definitely musky, definitely animalic. But I'm getting like the seaweed kind of a vibe, which is throwing me off a little bit. But all the other elements, the rum, I'm not getting much booziness from this one at all. But I'm liking that this one is a lot more unique than 𝗕𝗏3, and it's got this daring and almost weird kind of effect to it that I'm getting. I'm digging this one. There's no oud listed as a note, but I'm getting a little bit of a wood slash oud undertone along with the leather. This is nice, and I think on skin it could really be a stellar release. I'm gonna give this one a B on the first impression, and I'm very much looking forward to actually wearing this fragrance on skin to maybe giving it an A. But this is good, guys. This is quite intriguing and different from anything else that I've tried so far. The most unique fragrance so far here that I've shared with you today. In fact, let me know in the comments if any one of these fragrances really sparks your interest and you guys want to see a full-fledged review. I will keep wearing these fragrances as I get these new fragrances. They become more prominent in my rotation, especially if I like them. But if there's anything here that you want to see a full review, go ahead and leave it in a comment. I'll come back. If I have enough interest, I'll come back with a full review for you guys. Next up, we have a release from the house of Kilian, or by Kilian, that's getting quite a limelight. A lot of people are talking about how great this is. And this was released in the second half of last year towards the fall season. And this is going to be smoking hot. I thought it was a better deal to get this and just, get myself a pipette, which I have plenty of these, to actually decant it into a carry-on sprayer and share it with you guys on the first impression. Just sprayed it now. So smoking hot. So this fragrance, from this first impression, it's gonna have this honey tobacco feel to it. When you hear honey and tobacco, what comes to mind? Tobacco vanille. So Not going to smell like 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏, but it's going to be in the same wheelhouse as Naxos from 𝗔𝗏𝗏. So it's going to be this very fruity and sweet, honey-like accord or situation with a boozy kind of a feel and definitely a delectable sweet tobacco vibe. Apple brandy from Kilian themselves. It's going to have a very familiar feel to a lot of those fragrances that are very boozy, tobacco-y, sweet, sassy, sensual, hot, as the name implies. So if you're looking for something really hot, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. If you want something really hot to enhance your appeal, this is going to be a great one. From a first impression potential, I'm giving this one an A. There's nothing that you're not going to like here. It's really good. Got apple, cinnamon, smoke. So off the top, it's going to have almost like this apple strudel slash, apple pie la mode feel here. Vanilla, sugar cubes, oak moss, tobacco. I don't get much of the oak moss or the green vibe. It's mostly a very sweet tobacco with this apple fruity accord. Good stuff. Like I said, first impression potential, this gets an A. This is good stuff. This is one of those that you know that everyone that smells this, will want to have a bottle. Everybody that smells it on you will probably ask you, hey, what are you wearing? You smell freaking good. So I shared with you last year that there was a collection of fragrances from the house of 𝗵𝗏𝗏, which gave us Fougère Royale and many other great ones. There was a Figue Noir that they released last year that I really enjoyed. And they put out a fragrance line or collection called the Desert Collection, which contained 4 fragrances, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 Sauvage, Tabac Nomade, right here, which is a tobacco-based, and an amber-based scent called 𝗵𝗿𝗴𝗏. So I am very, very curious because I do love the brand of 𝗵𝗏𝗏, and they're always quality, they're always great smelling. Let's dive into these 4 new fragrances from their collection. The presentation is quite nice. All of them are going to be the same suit, so I'm not going to show you all the bottles or boxes for that matter, but it's going to have this black and gold motif. And I believe these are going to be all 100 ml, so it's going to fit the same profile as the bottles from 𝗵𝗏𝗏, which is this gorgeous square-looking bottles with the texture, the metal plate in black and gold, and the gold metal quality caps. So let's start with the oud one. Lately I've been in an oud kick, so let's see what we get out of this one, guys. Sprayers are great. So oud or is going to have this very light, profile. It's not going to be anything pungent or hard to wear. You do get a very wearable and pleasant oud. I think this one here will be a great segue into the oud. If you're watching this video, you're curious about the note of oud, you want to, get your toes wet, hop into the band of oud fragrances, this is going to be a really good one. I believe there's a rose undertone here, so it's going to be one of those rose and oud combinations, very popular kind of a profile in the fragrance world. I go as far as saying that this is a very similar scent to Oud Spahan from Dior from back in the day, which was a power bomb oud fragrance, floral, oudy. This one has all of those components, but in a very tamed and wearable manner. In fact, I think if you wear this, you're gonna get some compliments because I think it's got, the notes are very well balanced and it has this very appealing feel to it. I'm almost getting this fruity nuance as well in the notes here. This is quite nice. It's a good combination of notes, but it's not going to be a pungent oud unless you overspray. But I think it's quite well made. It's very balanced, very wearable, and I'm liking. This has a lot of potential. I haven't worn this on skin, so I can't really tell you much about it, but on a first impression, this is going to get a B. Let's see what we get out of this one. This is the amber one. Wow, this is really nice, but I'm not just getting the amber, I'm also getting a vetiver, like a fruity vetiver feel to it. This, I have to say, is a very different take on amber. I have yet to smell an amber fragrance that is this bright, minty, sparkly, fizzy, and easy to wear. This is nice. This could potentially make top spring and summer videos for me. It's not going to be those, dark ambers that are sweet and spicy and more for like fall and winter. This is going to be a bright and spring and summer kind of an amber, which I'm hard pressed to think in my collection I don't have many of those. So this is quite nice, very inviting, very bright, very refreshing. Geranium, patchouli, amber. Don't get much patchouli here, more of that bright orange blossom and mint combination with rosemary, jasmine, definitely an herbal components. That's why it's a little greenish yellow, the tone of the fragrance itself. Vanilla, not getting much of the vanilla. It's more of a dry vanilla for support. Oak moss, leather, and tonka bean. Very little tonka here. The sweetness is there, but not overbearing. This is mostly a citrus aromatic kind of an amber. Really, really nice. I'm gonna give this one a potential A, guys. I'm really digging this one. I think it's gonna be great for the summer and springtime. Looking forward to wearing this one. You can wear this as a signature scent. It is that pleasant. So Patchouli Sauvage, let's take this one for a test drive. This is going to be rather a dry patchouli, a little smoky, and definitely very woody. Quality patchouli nevertheless. If you are a big fan of patchouli fragrances out there, this is quite nice. It's not gonna be a really dark and smoky patchouli. It's more of a dry, woody, and fruity patchouli. You do have dried fruits in this composition. You do have vetiver, cedar, sandalwood, amber, and tonka. I do get a little bit of an oud touch also, which is not listed as a note, but it has this kind of a dark and medicinal feel to it. I like it. I don't love it. And it has this pencil shavings kind of a feel also because of the patchouli / cedar wood. I like it, I don't love it. I think from all three so far, this is my least favorite. There's a lot of other patchoulis that I enjoy, but again, that's my taste. You might try this one and fall in love with it. But I'm gonna give this one for myself a potential C overall. Again, on skin could be a different story, but not as impressing or impressive as the other three that I shared with you. Tabak Nomad is one that I'm hoping will be the best from the three fragrances, but let's check it out. Okay, sweet and floral aspects to this tobacco. Fruity, floral, sweet, and woody. There's this very, almost watery kind of a vibe to it, making this tobacco very wearable and also gender-free. It's not going to be dark. It's not going to have these really masculine undertones that you get with a lot of tobacco scents. So this one is a tobacco for all. The notes here are going to be spices, general spices, bergamot, rose, tobacco, saffron, leather, vanilla, and tonka. But it's done in a very fruity and easy to wear manner. I like this one. Less of a syrupy gourmand facet, more of a fruity, natural fruity kind of a feel. That's why I talked about watery feel, because it's more of a almost apple fruitiness to this one. Liking this one a lot. In comparison to Smoky Hot, I would probably wear Smoky Hot more because it's more of my vibe. It's got that, you know, almost like a royal tobacco kind of a nuances as well that I'm getting right now with the Smoky Hot as it's drying down, kind of similar to royal tobacco from Amouage. This one here, easier to wear and definitely more tamed with the notes here, but very well blended as well. Great blend, definitely worth checking out. There's a couple of things that I want to share with you from perfume.com. If you want to try any of the fragrances that I featured here in this video today, and thousands to choose from, designers, indie, niche, whatever you guys want, whatever you like, whatever you're looking for, most likely they will have it. You could try before you buy it. Get yourself a decant, live with it, love it. This is actually, you know, one fragrance that's one that I'm trying right now. Perhaps we'll do a review for you guys, but I want to say it right now what it is. But this is a way to try things before you actually pull the trigger on the full bottle. So perfume.com, enjoy my code. Actually, don't enjoy my code, MAX12. There's a better one for you right now with this haul. So for January's haul, Jan haul for 20% off site-wide on all your purchases. I'm gonna have all details below. Fast shipping, even faster than last year because they're, again, doubling up on everything to give back to you guys here in the fragrance community. So all details below, the code, all the perks for the crew member. Enjoy, guys. Perfume.com, the place to try it before you buy it. This was a fragrance that was discontinued or vaulted, and now it's brought back to the lineup of Creed. And Creed's going to be a very busy bee this year, guys. There's going to be quite a few releases. I heard something about a amber trio that they're putting together. I also heard about something called Thunder Rose or other. So there's going to be quite a few releases from the House of Creed. Of course, we had Aventus Absolute last year, which everybody was up at arms. But this one here is 1849, Millésime 1849, which is essentially the first oud-based scent that Creed had in their portfolio, and then was vaulted and discontinued. And of course, Royal Oud is the one that most people know and talk about. But let's go and check this one out. From what I remember, this was a very green oud aromatic type scent, which was quite weird, but I actually liked it. I reviewed that fragrance for you guys. I went through a full bottle, you know, in the last 10 years, and I don't have that bottle anymore. So I'm glad to revisit this. So Here's the deal. I don't get much of the oud that I used to get with that particular, first batch from 2013 of this particular fragrance. This is going to be a lot easier to wear, a lot more familiar, but yet it has this very green, woody and spicy kind of undertone, making it sharp and smoky a little bit as well. So the 1849 that I had, from 10 years ago, in particular 2013, that review I talked to you guys about being very woody, spicy, green, and smoky because it had a very predominant oud note in there. But it also had this floral, sweet undertone. This one here is going to be more floral, but drier than the previous, iteration of this fragrance. I used to like that one better, the original, the vintage formulation. This one here is okay. I don't think I would wear this much. So from all the creeds that I own, this would take a backseat to most of them, 𝗏𝗏 being my favorite. But this one here, guys, not feeling it. Very floral, tons of floral notes here, ylang ylang. From a FIP, first impression potential in this one, I'm gonna give this one a D, especially when I really loved the original, Millésime. They brought this back, which is essentially a fraction of what that fragrance was. So not really feeling this one, guys. This is gonna be a pass for me. But if you never tried the original from 2013, definitely give this one a shot. You're gonna get a little bit of the profile of what that fragrance was, but this one here, definitely mere, fraction of what that fragrance was. That was more pungent, more powerful, more intriguing, definitely more green components, herbal feel, and you did have a hefty dose of oud in that fragrance, which was, I think, completely extracted and neutered in this new release of Millésime 1849. So, got 2 from Tom Ford. And again, these are going to be 250 ml flacons, which I've already, gotten myself a pipette and have already decanted them to share with you guys here in the first impression. I mean, Tom Ford does it well. I mean, beautiful presentation. The vanilla one looks gorgeous. This milky, creamy kind of a feel to the bottle. This is Mère Mystère. Again, I've actually decanted these because I'll be carrying these with me and wearing them, especially this time of the year, because I think it's perfect for these fragrances. So Mère Mystère is one that I missed buying last year. And I didn't want to buy a smaller 50 ml because I thought it was way too overpriced. I thought it was a better deal to get a 250 ml because I really enjoyed. So this essentially isn't really a first impression, as it were, but because I got it and I'll have a chance to actually wear the fragrance, I wanted to share with you. So off the top here, it's gonna give me this beeswax kind of a feel, much like the same feel of the honey beeswax that I got with Moss Brash from back in the day. It also has this myrrh incensey smoky quality. I do get vetiver. There are some floral components. There's a leathery saffron feel as well. This is fire, ladies and gentlemen. So Mère Mystère, first impression, will get an A for me for sure. Perfect time to wear this one. It's not overbearing, so if you control the application, you can potentially wear this one all year round, even as a signature scent. Of course, primarily I would wear this for cooler weather, fall and winter, the time of the year we have right now. But this stuff, guys, fire, sensual, warm, intriguing, dark facets, absolutely incredible. But it's done in a way that it's not overbearing. Anybody can rock it, gender-free, and just one of those scents that will have you scratching your head. What's that smell? Who smells this good? It's gonna be one of those, just head-turning type scents. Last but not least, we have Vanilla Sex. Now, Tom Ford always pushes the boundaries, not only with the creations, but with the names. We've seen that over and over the past few years. I wanna say from 2017 and up, with the private blend, every year he comes up with these really suggestive, names, as it were. So this is Vanilla Sex. This is going to be basically, from the notes I've seen, a milky type of scent, lactonic. Well, let me get my nose on this first. From the tester strip here, it's giving me this medicinal, vanillic, almost metallic, but also lactonic, milky vanilla feel, like a vanilla pudding type of thing. It's got some sweetness to it, but it's not overly sweet. It's not gonna be syrupy sweet. If you're thinking about it's gonna be overly sweet, and not one of those vanilla tonkas, it's not like that at all. It's got this almond nutty feel to it. And again, it has this combination of notes here that are going to be floral, almost medicinal. I'm hoping that on skin that will go away. I'm getting a woody feel here, almost like a cedar, kind of a wood feel here. The tonka is not that prominent. It's not that sweet, Fève Delicieuse or one of those heavy tonka, 6 syrupy and sweet kind of a combinations. The tonka here is kind of a dry tonka. The vanilla is the star, but the vanilla combination here is going to be very floral. It's going to have this floral, vanillic, and almondy, nutty feel. This might be dry. It's not going to be a syrupy, overly gourmand. It's a different take on vanilla. I like it. I like it because it's not more of the same. So for that, I'm going to give this one potential first impression B note or B ranking, and this could evolve into an A. I have to wear it on skin because on paper, I'm getting sort of like a medicinal feel. So I'm looking forward to wearing these fragrances, guys, and giving you guys more on these fragrances as the months progress. Let me know which ones sound most interesting to you from everything I talked about, all 18 fragrances. If you have tried any of these, let me know your thoughts and your experience with them. If there's anything here that really piqued your interest and you'd like to see a full review, also let me know in the comments and I'll definitely come back with review. I will sprinkle some reviews here and there so that we're not just doing top videos throughout the whole year. And I do that anyway, you guys know. If something is worth your time for me to share with you, I'll definitely bring a full review. So there's fragrances here that definitely piqued my interest in that regard. So stay tuned for more videos here on the channel. Of course, leave your like, show your support. I'm your guy when it comes to all things fragrance, keeping you guys in the know. As always, check out the description of this video for great savings and codes to obviously save you guys some money if you're looking to purchase fragrances, whether niche, designer, or indie. As always, guys, I'll see you in the next video. And don't forget, fragrance is emotion in motion, so be sure to wear what truly moves you. I will see you right back here in another video very soon. Take care.